What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Body beat down here on this Thursday morning, fresh off the school bus. So, typically I jump right on the bike and do some spinning on my stationary bike. But this morning I thought, well, it's pretty out, it's nice and got a little coolness to the air, feels good out, so I'll go ahead and get a walk done. If you follow the channel, this is my more cardio-centric day, and we got some stuff to talk about, guys. Some pretty interesting stuff to talk about as far as my workouts go and what's going on. So should be an interesting little walk and talk. Let me get around this person over here so I don't look too crazy talking to myself. All right, so we'll kind of get right into things here. That's what she said. So anyway, you know that I have decided to pretty much not worry about doing chest anymore because of my shoulder and my wrist. And it's something you got to kind of come to terms with and make some decisions, and sometimes the decisions are not exactly what you want, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, I could press 30-pound dumbbells or 135 pounds on the bar, maybe, and not have much discomfort, but I ain't gonna do that. So we're kind of cutting out chest till I feel like it's time to maybe try it again, which may never happen. So just to kind of touch base with you on things, this past Monday I did shoulders instead of chest, which is going to be the substitute for doing chest, is going to be shoulders. And the good news is I went up to a decent weight on the barbell press, 225, and I got 5 reps, which is pretty good. And it's pushing, it made me push my shoulder and my wrist pretty good. And I got out of that with really no discomfort. So I think the shoulder choice is going to be good. I think it's going to work out. That don't mean that I can sit there and beat my shoulders to death and not expect to have some problems. So that's going to be, kind of a week-to-week basis on, how hard or heavy that I want to go. But I think for now, until I decide otherwise, we're pretty good with the shoulders being the chest substitute. Now, on to another thing. And I just thought about this on my bus ride home. I mean, literally just a minute before I even got back home this morning. I thought, you know what? I'm substituting my chest with shoulders now. What would happen if I substituted deadlifts with something? Since I do deadlifts all the time, and maybe it's time for a break with deadlifts. Maybe it's time for a change. Oh goodness. Maybe it's a time for a change to get away from deadlifts for a while. Well, what's one of the closest things I can do to a deadlift. A bent barbell row. I've always said that deadlifts and bent barbell rows are pretty much about the same movement, just a little different. So, out of nowhere this morning, I come up with that idea, and I thought, that sounds pretty good. I think I'll do that. And, there comes a time when you got to change some things up. You can't keep, your body won't let you just keep doing the same things over and over and over. You got to kind of change things up a little bit. And not just to try and slow down a little bit of the wear and tear on your body, but mentally. Mentally. And I'm kind of noticing that. Have you ever been a hoarder, or you knew a hoarder? Hoarder. Let's make sure the word's correct there. Hoarder. Do you like to keep too much stuff? Have you ever had that moment where you started cleaning things out and it was really, really difficult to do? And it almost made you cry. It was like a mental breakdown. Trying to get rid of things. Maybe throw some things away, what have you. But then did you notice that after you got over that initial shock, that it became easier? And then all of a sudden, instead of having a closet full of 10,000 things you don't wear, now you got 1,000 things that you might wear. Kind of an example, I guess. That's kind of how it is that I'm noticing with finally being able to change up my workouts a little bit. And once you take that first step, it's kind of rough. But after a while, it gets a little easier on you. And then, before you know it, you're able to change more things. Make new changes. Try new things. Break out of the mold that you've been in for the past, year or 10 years or 50 years. Once you start trying new things, it becomes kind of a new adventure. And for most of us that work out, we're doing the same things over and over and over and over and over. Number one, how many times can you do that and keep it interesting? Number two, how many times can you share your videos online of doing the exact same things over and over and over and still keep that interesting? It's not easy to do. Unless you're doing extreme weights, and people like extremes. So, I guess in a sense, I'm feeling kind of free. And yeah, maybe I've mentioned before, maybe this is a little easier for me because I've reached my goals and a little bit more on all my lifts, and I feel complete. I feel like I've accomplished what I need to accomplish, so maybe some of this is a little easier for me to handle. Or is it? It's not easy knowing that, my bench press is going to take a big hit. Or maybe even my deadlifts. But at the same time, if I step back, I say, what's it matter? What's it really matter? I've been there and done it. What's it matter? So we have these weird thoughts in our minds that it really matters. When in fact, what matters really is your health and fitness, your happiness, your mental stability. That's what really matters. And if you're still working on those PRs, by all means, keep working on those PRs. Because right now that matters. But then once you reach them, maybe think about, hey, do I need to keep doing this? Or do I feel good about myself and I can change some things up? Because I know I feel now at this point, I feel good. I really wish I had this big wide turnaround, that big kind of driveway like that. Man, I wish I had that. I wish we wouldn't have sold our other house. Anyway, woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? So, all of this also leads me to another topic. It's kind of pretty much the same topic, but kind of a different topic in the topic. I don't know. You'll be able to figure it out once I talk about it. So, from day one, I mentioned how lucky I felt to be able to work out again. With my shoulder being as bad as it is, and it calming down, not being so inflamed and bothering me, and I was actually able to work out again. Yeah. So, and periodically throughout these past few years, I've mentioned, man, I'm lucky. I feel like, I'm so lucky I get to do this, and my arm's letting me do this. And of course, there's been a little aggravation along the way, which is expected. But I think also the way I'm looking at that now is, really, man, how lucky was I to be able to do what I've done. And maybe my shoulder and my wrist causing me issues again. Of course, my wrist is kind of new, but we'll just say with my shoulder and my wrist causing me issues, it's almost a blessing in disguise, maybe, because it's making me have to think outside the box. It's making me have to change. And again, change is good. We need some change sometimes. Now, I'm a person of habit. I'm a person of schedule. I'm a person of routine. And I don't typically like change, which is why I kind of had a problem with all this in the beginning, because, it's kind of mentally challenging to you. But I guess it was, it was this morning or yesterday evening, I don't remember. I just got to thinking of how it may be that blessing in disguise that's helping me to move away from this movement and putting so much importance on it, and making me do other things, making me have to think. So, even in times when you feel distressed or despair or down, and we'll keep it simple just with working out, we won't go into life. So when you feel like you've hit a wall, when you feel like you're bored with things, when you feel like maybe you're not progressing, or you have injuries and you're confused and different things of that nature, I want you to watch this video and know that we've all been there, and it's normal, but you can pull through these things in life that revolve around our health and fitness. We can pull through and kind of reinvent things, and we're gonna make it. And don't let 2 or 3, 4 different lifts and a whole entire catalog of lifts define who you are. I know it's easier said than done, but there's a list of things that we can do to be healthier, fitter, stronger, happier, healthier, all the good stuff. There's a list 100 miles long of things we can do. And they're okay to do. And in the long run, could more than likely be even better and healthier for you to do long term. Because let's face it, the bench press is not healthy. Or should I say, at least going to the extremes is not necessarily healthy. It's not good for the shoulders whatsoever. I mean, that's been proven time and time again. Especially with the barbell. But for some reason, it is the juggernaut of, chest exercises, chest movements, a show of strength. It's the quintessential, the gold standard by which your strength is judged upon, the bench press. Hello, kitty. What are you doing? What are you doing, kitty? You startled me. I thought you were a moose or something. Oh, goodness. So, just kind of a little update here, guys, on not just a change in the workout, but my mental status on how I look at these things. And hopefully from this point forward, we can look at things in a more positive way instead of, the opposite. There's a lot out there for us to do, and it goes far, far further than just a bench press, a squat, and a deadlift, and even a shoulder press. For me, those are the 4 main movements. You do those 4 main movements, and you're going to have a strong, solid physique, body, unless you get injured. Then things can change. So days like today are going to be far more important going forward than just lifting. And you've noticed that change for a while now on my channel. Sure, these videos might not get the views or the attention or the praise, you know, flipping a tire or jumping rope or doing Tae-Bo or hitting a heavy bag or anything of the sort. They might not get the attention and the praise that the big lifts do. But again, as I've been kind of talking about for a while, real world movements and things that help us in our daily life, you know, and there are plenty of weighted exercises that we can do that help in our daily lives. So those are still important. But getting out here and walking and cycling, jumping rope, crawling on the ground, rolling on the ground, picking yourself back up, whatever it is that you can come up with, those are going to come a long way. Especially as you get older, those are going to become more and more important. And also, and I've been wanting to do this for like 4 years, and I did some earlier. I got to where I was able to do it. But I want to incorporate trying to jog. And no, it's not easy being 280 pounds. It's not easy with a horrible chronic bad back, knees that are not good, my right hip that's not good at all. It's not easy to do. And it's not something I'm going to do on the daily. Not even at all. But it is something that I want to work towards again and accomplish again. But I can't do it in these shoes. These shoes might as well be just flip-flops. They're garbage. Most of you would have thrown them away a year ago. Easily. They're just garbage. And so I need to buy some decent shoes. Everyday shoes, not just for running. So something I can utilize in my daily life. And I want to try and get to where I can at least jog a mile again if I wanted to. And there's just a lot more we can do to be well rounded and be able to enjoy our lives. So anyway, guys, I'm home. Hope I give you a little inspiration to try new things and to keep pushing forward. Guys, if I do, maybe like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff to the Body Beatdown. That's me, Michael, your incredible host. And don't forget, get up, get out, get rad, do it to it, and have an awesome day, guys.
Get up, get out, get rad, and do it to it!